It's been a month or a little bit over a month since Marathon's come out, and I wanted to, I guess, officially release my review. And I want to say right off the bat that a lot of my concerns regarding Marathon and the Server Slam, they were right to some degree and they were wrong to some degree, depending on, whatever it was. Things such as the UI, I still feel like that needs a lot of work. After a month playing the game straight, you're going to get used to the UI. It's unorthodox, I guess is the best word to describe it. We're going to go into that a little bit later. The first thing I really wanted to talk about regarding Marathon is the reception surrounding it. And I don't mean I've already made a video on the, either extremely hating or extremely glazing side of people who talk about Marathon. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who actually play the game on a daily basis. I would say the perception with a lot of those people is that Marathon is a really, really addicting game, but it's also a game that has a lot of flaws that is holding it back from being an extremely popular and standout live service game. And my overall feelings regarding the very PvP intense nature of Marathon is I really, really like it. And I know that in my Arc Raiders video, I talked about aggression-based matchmaking, and I think people misinterpreted that for me not liking PvP. I don't like lobbies that are curated for PvP. I like a game that is either going to strictly be PvP or strictly be casual or a mix of both and not really tamper with, how the players interact with the game depending on their playstyle. I can't stand that stuff. I hate splitting up players through playstyle. And for me, at least, it feels like Marathon, it appeals to a much smaller audience because it is mostly a PvP game. Like, people are not going to go in there, and you see those clips on, on Twitter or on YouTube of, oh, here's a really friendly lobby, we all exfil together. People are trying their hardest to make this that kind of game, and it's just not. Like, you can tell the community is like, okay, that's cool, little sweet lobby you got over there. Don't let me catch you in one of those lobbies. I'll throw a heat grenade on top of everybody and then just wipe up the lobby. Like, it's not that kind of game.
Cooperate. Peace, friend.
And also, something else I want to talk about is I don't understand why people want it to be such a PvE kind of game when losing gear in this game is one of the least infuriating things about the game. Yes, you heard that right. Losing gear in this game is one of the least infuriating things about it. They did such a good job with making you want to take your gear into runs. At first, I thought they were just talking. I was like, okay, this is just developer talk. Whenever you actually lose gear, you're probably going to be really pissed. No, dude, I've lost purple gear. I've lost a whole kit of purple gear, purple backpack, purple SMG, purple overrun AR, everything, the whole kit. And I was just like, oh, well, load back in with another because my vault is basically full. And guess what? If you're completing quests, if you're completing objectives, you're always going to be able to claim rewards to get more weapons, more shields, more backpacks, more augments or mods or whatever. Literally everything. The game, as long as you keep doing stuff, as long as you keep completing objectives and you keep basically, just playing the game. Literally, Marathon is, if you play the game, it will reward you with stuff to replace the stuff that you're possibly going to lose. So why not take that stuff out on your runs anyways? And also, I really love the armory system because each time you upgrade your factions, you get better stuff in your armory. Also, it's only like a 24-hour loop, I think, where it recycles and you get new stuff. Maybe you get a weapon and mods or, shields and health or, mods, whatever it is. And that encourages you also to go out and look for all these different materials and stuff. At first, I didn't like the fact that most of the map is basically just salvage, but I understand it now in a way that it helps you upgrade your factions, and then that helps you get better stuff in your armory, and then that also helps you get more items, more free stuff. And so it constantly reinforces this cycle of, okay, keep bringing yourself into the map, keep finding new stuff. Okay, if you lose stuff, it doesn't matter, you're going to get free stuff, or you're going to get stuff back anyways, so it helps replace that stuff you just lost. And yeah, there's just an abundance of loot as long as you're going out and looking for it. It's so rewarding. The gameplay loop, I already said it would probably be really good and it would be really fun to engage with, but it is so rewarding playing this game in a style where, you can play it where you just go out on runs to just get loot, which, you probably shouldn't do that because your vault's going to get filled up real quick. And so yeah, right here at the start, this is basically a long-winded way of saying I really love the very PvP intense nature of Marathon. I really love the contract system. As long as you're constantly doing stuff and as long as you're constantly playing the game, you will be rewarded regardless. So there's no deterrent from, you know, taking good stuff in and then trying to see if you can get even better stuff. So yeah, I really love the PvP style of Marathon. I really love the contract system. I really love the skill upgrade system with salvage and credits and stuff like that. I didn't like it at first, but yeah, anyways, I guess I'll talk about something that I still don't like about Marathon. And I mean, like with Joe Ziegler being the game director on this game, coming from Valorant, brother, Valorant was like my main game for 3 years. I know your style. I know your style with the cosmetic system. Like, they're not fooling anyone. I know they updated it to where now you get, you know, 20 plus lux on top of whatever bundle you buy. But like, bruh, I'm hip to this. I played Valorant. I know how you like to do this. I know how all live service games like to do this, but it is extremely aggressive in this game. They very much incentivize you to keep buying more and more and more to just, you know, like, oh man, I'm just short of this one. I'm just short of that. I'm just short of that cosmetic.
Tell them to bring me my money.
I can't stand this. It happens in basically every live service game. Hopefully, like, they sort of do away with this whole, you know, extremely aggressive cosmetic system, because they can just put that in the battle pass. And you know, the battle pass, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to buy the battle pass every single time like you did in Valorant. There's no way where, you know, okay, if you complete the battle pass from start to finish, it's going to give you enough credits or whatever it is to be able to buy the next battle pass basically for free. Nah, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do that. Again, Joe Ziegler, you made a pretty good game this time. I'm hip to how you do monetization. I'm not stupid to that. So like, I really don't like the monetization in this game. It can be much more toned down, or you can put it in the battle pass, which you're already charging people for every single season. Now, next, I want to talk about the TTK and gun balance in Marathon, because at first I thought it was really like extremely fast, but the more I played it, the more I feel like it's, for the most part, it's in a sweet spot. Like, sometimes you still do die extremely quickly. For the most part, you know, I feel like it's pretty good. Like, honestly, I feel like it is quicker than I expected it to be, but like, that has given me a lot of situations where even if my teammates leave, or if my teammates get down at a, you know, like, I don't know, I'm on the top floor, they're on the bottom floor, and you know, they just get outnumbered, I can still find a way to then 1v3 those teams. I'll show it like multiple times. I just 1v2, 1v3 teams, just because, I mean, the TTK is kind of high, but it's also the fact that like, I use my positioning and like my weapons really well. I use them to their strengths, to where I usually am just like, if I'm better, which I usually am better than most of the teams, then I can just wipe them by myself if I need to. And I really like that aspect of it. I know it can be very frustrating at times whenever it just feels like you get sniped by, you know, SMG. Someone hits like a really good burst of, you know, headshots or whatever, and you just down immediately. But that also comes with a level of skill. Like, as long as you can hit those shots against the other player before they can hit them on you, I mean, right? It's like all of the weapons feel this way. All of the weapons feel really, really strong. You bring in the blue pistol, as long as you're keeping it within that range and you got a good trigger finger, you're gonna drop someone. You're going to drop someone real quick. And you know, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and rank all of the weapons from like S tier to, let's say, D tier. Sure, I feel like no weapon's really D tier, but like, let's just go ahead and rank it just for fun. And I guess we'll start with the ARs first. The Overrun AR, I would put it probably in like C tier. Like, it's a good, reliable, sort of versatile AR, but it doesn't really stand out too much compared to the other ARs definitely that's in the game, such as like the M77. This is S tier. I think the M77 is the best weapon in the game. And keep in mind, this is all if you have like blue attachments on all of them. So like, if you have really good attachments on all the weapons, then this is what I'm talking about. The M77 is so good. It feels like it does such a high damage output, and as long as you're hitting body shots, I don't even have to aim down sights. I just take people out instantly. It feels so good to use this weapon. The Impact HAR, I'd put it probably in like high B tier. Like, it doesn't outperform some of the other ARs or SMGs, but it's still a very reliable AR. It can take people out at range. It's one of my favorite range weapons in the game, at least in terms of automatic weapons. And yeah, just very reliable AR. The V75 Scar, it's a little bit of a weird one. Like, I like the range you can take people at it, but like, its close range is just not great. And every weapon can't be like a do-it-all close range, medium range, long range kind of weapon. But like, I don't know, I feel like it needs a little bit of probably like a little bit of a tuning to find that sweet spot maybe, because every weapon in this game feels like it has like a really good sweet spot, and you can take like shots mid-range and even close range if you really need to. And I don't feel like that's the case for the V75 Scar. I feel like it's very much a long range kind of weapon, but yeah, I would still put it by probably like low B tier. Now onto the SMGs. The Bully SMG, again, this is another like S tier. This weapon is so good. Its hip fire spread is 0. I mean, I constantly show clips of basically I don't have to aim down sights. Well, first off, you don't really have to aim down sights in this game. So, you know, there's that. But like, I take people out just like so consistently, just constantly hip firing, and it feels so good when it has all the attachments on it. For the V22 Volt, I would say if you're using triage and you're using overcharge, then I would say this is like mid A tier. But if you're not using triage with the overcharge, then this is probably like high B tier. But it is still a really strong, really powerful hitting SMG. And again, with the fact that it's a Volt weapon, like Volt weapons in this game, they feel like they never run out of ammo. So like there's that. You don't really have to take in a bunch of ammo like you do with some of these other weapons to just eat through ammo. You can just bring one stack and you're basically good for the entire run. For the Burt SMG, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, this one's kind of rare to find, but when I do use it, it's just not as good as the V22 or the Bully SMG. It's just not as good as them. So like I'm gonna put this is the first one I'm gonna put in, like I might put this one in D tier because like it's good up close, but it has 0 range. I'm sorry, this weapon has it just looks like a weapon, has 0 range. I mean, it's still good up close. So like if you're someone who likes to get up close, maybe if you're playing, you know, Destroyer, then this is the weapon for you. And last for the SMGs is the Copperhead R5. And this is just sort of like the SMG's version of the Overrun AR. It is very versatile in terms of being an SMG, but its main purpose is to be used like medium and close range. So as long as you keep it in those ranges and you have really good attachments on it, you're likely to succeed with this SMG. All right, and next up we have the LMGs, and the first one we have here is the Conquest LMG. This one I'll put in like, it's very unfortunate. I'm gonna put this one in C tier just because like it's really good once the RPM ramps up. But before that, if someone can basically kill you within the first like 3 to 5 seconds, you don't have the TTK to be able to beat them. So that's probably its only downside. I would say like my biggest thing is that I really like to peek around corners or just like to like warm up the RPM. But yeah, that's an unfortunate side of the Conquest LMG is you basically have to play it in a certain way where you can get the max RPM. And outside of that, if you're caught out of guard, high guard, or if you're just out of place with this LMG, I mean, you're probably gonna have to switch to another weapon or just go at him with a knife. But next up, we have the Demolition HMG. I love using this LMG at long range. I'll even use it at close range because, again, this LMG actually feels good whenever I hip fire it. I don't know why. I don't feel like it has a particularly good hip fire, but like for some reason, whenever I hip fire it, maybe it's the recoil pattern and I'm really good with it. But yeah, I mean, I use this LMG like I can use an SMG sometimes, and it is so fun to use and it is very versatile. And the next up is the Retaliator LMG. Oh wait, what the hell? I forgot to rank the Demolition HMG. I would put that probably in like low A tier. But onto the Retaliator LMG is the it's S tier. Like this is up there with the with the Bully SMG. This is up there. I mean, it's so good at what it does. Long range, it is so good at what it does. It's so consistent too. I love, like, this is probably the reason I don't like the Conquest LMG is it's not consistent. Like, you're probably going to be caught between different TTK times depending on how you use it, but the Retaliator LMG is consistent all the time, and you can constantly rely on what you're going to get out of it. So this is definitely S tier for me by far. All right, so next up we have the pistols, and on to the CE tactical sidearm. And I know I said I'm taking into account the fact that all the mods are on the weapons, but for this one you really need all your mods on the weapon. Like without all the mods, it's kind of trash. It's kind of doo-doo. But with all the mods, it is actually like it turns into a pocket SMG. It becomes so elite and versatile compared to the other SMGs. So with this one there is a caveat, so I'm probably going to put in like a B tier, just like middle of the B tier, because like with no mods it's trash. Just try to go at them with a knife or just, I don't know, send a prayer or something. But on to the next one, we have the Magnum MC. This is sort of like your like sheriff revolver style pistol. It is really strong. The only downside is that I feel like it's not as good as the precision rifles or the sniper rifles, depending on how you want to use it. So I'm gonna put this one surprisingly, even though I really like to use it. I like the way it feels. I really like revolvers in games, but like revolvers always hit in that weird spot where where, or this is a Magnum, but like they always sit in that weird spot where it just doesn't do as much damage as a precision rifle, but also it's not as good up close, and it's not as good as the other ones. It's not as good as the other pistols in the game. It's not as good as, it's not as good as them. So yeah, I'm gonna put this probably in like C tier. The VLL Punch, I'm gonna also put this one in C tier just because I don't think this weapon's very good. Like, honestly, no, I'm gonna put this one in D tier. I think this is one of the weaker weapons in the game, and it's not worth using. Nothing else to really say about it, honestly. All right, next up we have the sniper rifles, and unfortunately I've only been able to try one of the sniper rifles, which is the long shot. But with the long shot, I feel like it is a really good long range rifle, and I like the fact that you can get follow-up shots pretty quickly with this. So it actually makes it one of my favorite long range weapons, because typically I like repeater style or like tactical style weapons where they do a pretty good like damage output, and you can get follow-up shots really quickly, and you can definitely do that with the long shot. So this is probably like, I want to say like maybe I don't put it, I just say it's confidently like an A tier weapon. And the only reason why it's not S tier is because for some of these other weapons, I can reach out to range and drop people so easily if I get headshots. Again, this is the reason why if you have all attachments on it, you have like a recoil attachment on the M77. I mean, I have no recoil and I'm just going at you with an M77. You might be able to get one shot off on me, but like by the time you're ready to get your follow-up shot going, you're already dead. So yeah, that's the only reason why it's not in S tier, is that some of these other weapons, they're so elite at all ranges. And last but not least, we have the shotguns. And unfortunately, I've only been able to use 2 of them. But first up, we have the V85 Circuit Breaker. This one also is like the Conquest LMG in a way, like you have to charge it up to get the best use out of it. But in this case, the fact that if you get your full charge out of this weapon and you hit someone up close, they're just done. So as long as you're playing your angles right, like this weapon is the best shotgun in the game. At least out of the 2 ones I use. And the next one up is the combat shotgun, and I mean it feels like a do-it-all shotgun up close. Like nothing's beating this up close as long as you hit those 2 shots center mass. It's just so satisfying to use this weapon. I mean, they basically copied this. This is a shorty, so like they copied this from Valorant, but it feels better than the shorty, if I'm being honest, because it just feels so good. And honestly, I really love the reload animation, so sometimes I'll use this on UESC and just bring in like 30 rounds just because I like the reload animation. So I'm gonna put it like probably like top of B, bottom of A. It doesn't really matter. It's a really good and a really fun weapon to use. And the last thing I really want to discuss in this video after playing Marathon for about a month is the fact that the runners or the shells, they're really not balanced that well. Like if you played the game, you know that it's basically triage and it's basically vandal. And if you want to really play anything else, you have to go into it with the fact that it's weaker than basically those 2 runners or shells. Because I mean, first off, we're gonna start with Destroyer, right? Destroyer shield is cool, I guess, but like you can use shields on LMGs, so I'm not gonna say that's useless, but like the fact that you have to pull out your shield in comparison to just having a shield up and being able to absorb damage while your gun is out, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Especially when that team they can nade you from behind, they can use the secret grenades. For some reason, the shield, I feel like it should have a buff in some way. Like, I'm not saying make a 360 shield, because that would be ridiculous. I don't know, it's not that useful to pull out your shield and to basically, cover your teammates mid-fight. Like, it just doesn't make much sense. And his ultimate, or his little like homing missile system, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to wait a little bit for it to lock on. By the time you're doing all that, even if it takes like 2 seconds, you're going to be taking all kind of shots, because you have to have them in your physical view. Why not just go at them with your gun? It's just, again, it's something that's like, it doesn't make sense in an actual gunfight. I feel like a lot of Destroyer's design was designed around, if you're going at UESC, if you take him against them, then like, sure, it makes a lot of sense. But like if you're using him against other players, he's just at a disadvantage. Like he just is. And his like little like dash thruster, cool. I'll just use cardio kick. You know what I mean? Like cool, okay. Like there's cardio kick everywhere. Like he can dash a little bit. It's not like his heat capacity is a little bit less whenever he dashes. No, it still builds up just the same. His kit is not as good when you're going against other players. And I'll say the same thing for Assassin, honestly. Like the fact that you can pop a smoke, okay, cool. Like there's smokes all over the place. Anyone can use smoke. And if you're going against someone who's using recon, there's supposed to be the direct counter. But like still, think about it for a second. If you're using active camo and if you're using the smoke, if someone has a recon on their team, or if you can just literally look at the silhouette, their kit is almost useless. Like genuinely, there's no way where it's like, oh, it's hard to spot the assassin. Like you're going against assassin whenever you see an assassin use their invisibility or their smoke smokescreen. It's just, again, it's another one of these. It's not very good against PvP, but like definitely whenever you're using smokes and the visibility against UESC, it's incredibly powerful, especially whenever you're going against the commanders. Again, it's one of those situations where it's good against one aspect of the game, but like whenever you're engaging with, other players, it's not as good. And Recon, I feel like Recon is actually really good. Like Recon's abilities are actually really, really good and really strong, but it just takes a lot of patience, like a lot of scouting and stuff like that. Whereas if you want to just get right into the fight in third party, I mean, your Recon you may as well just be a default shell or something, because it's not really gonna benefit you that much for having a Recon in that situation where you want a third party. For Thief, I feel like Thief is the weakest shell in the game. Like this whole pickpocket drone, if you're pickpocketing people, I mean, first of all, they know they're getting pickpocketed, so they know there's a thief. I mean, all right, like I guess you're not really gathering any extra intel that you can share with your team outside of, oh, I made them drop this stuff and they're gonna pick it right back up. Cool. Like the traversal with the grapple, I mean, I have Vandal, you know what I mean? I have Vandal who is way better at traversal, so cool, I guess. Like I don't know, I've used Thief once, so admittedly I haven't really tested with it that much. I don't really have to talk about Vandal and Triage. I mean, you should know, if you played the game, you should know why Vandal is so good. Her movement, her mobility, I mean, just everything about her kit is so good. And I genuinely think that like Vandal is just this game's Wraith. Like she's just so good at movement, she's so good at, being able to, to get to different spots. And obviously Triage, I mean, come on, I main Triage, so I would know, but like, bro, Triage, his reboot is so good. His overcharge is so good when you're using Volt weapons. I mean, if your team is out of heals or they're running low in heals, just, there you go, there's a drone. You can get up your teammates really quickly if they die. It's just has so many utilities and so many uses in a PvP fight, as well as Vandal. But with the other ones, I feel like they're just not as good in PvP.
Damn, bro, I choked on that.
I would say Marathon is probably sitting at a 8.5 out of 10 for me. To this day, I still get confused a little bit about, what mods or what, where they go and what slot, because like you have the 3 mod slots, right? For some reason, I'm like, okay, the red mod, I know it goes on the left side, and I know the yellow mod goes on the right side, but like for some reason, for that split second, it confuses me because they all look so similar. Like for some reason, I feel like if they made the icons just look a little bit different, like with ammo, you're not confused with light ammo and MIPS ammo or heavy ammo. They have such a distinct difference that you can tell what it is. They need to differentiate it a little bit more to make the icons just stand out a little bit more, so you know what it is you're picking and what everything actually is. But yeah, for me, I mean, regardless of what other people are saying, I know I said I probably wouldn't make a very opinionated kind of video again, but like this is just mostly like my own experience. I've been having a really good time with Marathon after a month. I didn't think I would have probably this good of a time because of how the server slam went, but like after I understood the systems and I understood how the game works on a fundamental level, I'd probably have some more enjoyment in it. But like it's still not perfect. Like they still got a lot of stuff they got to work on. I still feel like its ceiling has not been, or its potential has not been reached because of some of the issues that's been holding it back since launch. Now that's just my take on it. For anyone else who has been playing the game for about a month now, like if you tried the game for like 10 minutes or like a couple hours or something, please do not bother commenting. But for the people who actually have been playing it consistently, let me know how you feel about the game. Let me know where you would rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. I kind of hate 1 to 10 scales because they don't really mean anything, honestly, but like, it'll get the point across of how much you actually like the game and how much you're enjoying it. So yeah, let me know what you like about the game, what you dislike about it, things that have surprised you, things that have disappointed you so far, and yeah, kind of just like where your head's at, because I want to hear from the Marathon community themselves, not people who just played the game, for a couple games or something and they stopped playing. But yeah, other than that, that's all we're gonna rant about. That's it for me. I'll see you next time.